Morten.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Hey, we are live. So welcome, Matthias. You don't hear me? So there was an issue here. Let's see if Matthias will join me in a second again. At least we are still live. So the hiccup is probably from Matthias's side. So let's see if we are lucky to get him back in just a few seconds here. So Matthias, if you hear me, just dial in again and I will connect you directly here to our live broadcast, our first PreDrupa. And we are a little bit delayed. Also, Jean, if you hear this, I will take you onto the show in just 15 minutes or so. Let's see if Matthias is here. Hello, Matthias. Can you hear me now?
Hello, Morten. Now it's working.
Sorry that we were a little bit delayed.
A while.
No worries. Sorry that we were delayed, but technology is a bitch. And you know that. You're a software developer, right?
Yeah, of course, I know that. And technology can play some tricks sometimes, and good that it works.
I have to be a little bit hard on you right now, you know? Because I met you at Drupa 2016, and we were sitting outside having a beer and having an interview, and you promised me that you would be at the next Drupa.
Yes.
So what happened?
I will be at the next Drupa.
But not as an exhibitor. Not as an exhibitor, right?
Not as an exhibitor with our own booth. But as time has passed, we are as an MIS supplier, always depending on other machine manufacturers and other workflows and other different softwares to bring a full automated environment to the customers. So it wouldn't be a reason to be just standing alone and just showing our MIS, because the world has come to a point where you need to show the full automation. That's why we're going to be with friends.
That was a good answer. So will you also disclose who your friends are?
I can't do that at this moment. Okay. We have a lot of projects going of potential partnerships. So it will be finalized within a couple of weeks who that's going to be. But it's very interesting partners, both focusing on automation and in positioning and workflows and hardware. So it's going to be a full automated environment, everything from web to print to pre-flights to MIS workflows, machines, print, postpress.
Fantastic. Matthias, you and I, we met each other just a couple of weeks ago in Ghent in Belgium because of the release and of the Atomics platform. And that was also, let's say, an integration project where Omicai has got its name on quite good position, because, I mean, as a Swedish company, I think that you're in the beginning, you've, of course, focused very much on getting your releases out, and you got Swedish, Finnish, Norwegian customers, but I see Omicai name more and more. That is not too bad when you are one of the owners, right?
No, it's great. I mean, the situation for the print industry is the same all over Europe and other continents too. So we are facing the same problems. We have decreasing quantities of an order. It's more and more customizations. It's more and more orders coming in. So we have to handle like a scalability and automation of quantity one. That is the biggest obstacle for the future. We're only 100% automatic from start to finish, including AI and automation of all softwares and hardware in that scope. So that is something we are pushing a lot towards right now to bring the entire picture to the market.
When you're, I mean, for those who don't know Omicai is an online-based MIS system, and what I like about your system is basically that it's like one solution that grows with all customers. It's not like modules. You basically get everything developed so if you have something specifically for binary, everybody gets that, so they can use that in their binders as well. When you look at the number of MIS suppliers, you've also been in our webinar where you spoke about Omicron. But when you look at the MIS solutions, I wouldn't say that it's a very crowded market, but there is, of course, competition as with everything else. Do you think that one of the biggest differentiators in the future of MIS systems is also more how and who you integrate with, and how seamless you can make that total, let's say, control of both hardware and software, and all the new things like IoT and AI and things like that, seamless integrated into? Does that become like a more and more important part in your perspective?
Definitely 100% spot on, because we have a transition right now where all the software is transitioning from on-premise to the cloud. And when you do that, it opens a lot of opportunities. It's easier to integrate, and you can do that with low-code integrations. You don't have to program things that are very stick to the core, because that is very important, because the world is changing rapidly. And there are new best-of-breed products and machines coming all the time. So you have to have an integration platform that is flexible, and you can have a future-proof business idea to that. But you have to have a situation where you have these cloud-based solutions and easy and maintainable integrations.
And as you are already 100% cloud-based, does that give you like a head start to some of the competitors that may not have 100% online solution today? Or is it more like a technical question? Because I mean, you can integrate on premises software as well, but it's just more complicated. Or how should I understand the difference?
Yeah, I mean, there are a change in the market, of course. I would hope that we have some advantage in that, and also that we see the entire picture and understands that we cannot only focus on the MIS part. We have to focus on the whole value chain for the customer. And when you do that, then I hope we can have an advantage. But as you say, this is going to be transitioning over time. So there are always a way to access data from an on-premise environment through gateways and through FTPs and hot folders and things too. So you have to be flexible and focusing on bringing value with the modern situation with cloud-based solutions, but you can also have to take in consideration the existing ones.
I'm a little bit curious, because with the number of installations you have right now, I was just wondering, the customers, do they have very similar requirements and needs when you talk to them, or is it that some are very advanced and some are less advanced? I'm asking because I was curious when you talk about for example, the AI and low level integration to other systems. I was just wondering how much is a requirement for market, or how much is like what you believe the future will require.
You know as good as I know that the market is divided with early adopters. They want to push for the automated full AI environment, and then there are a little bit more laggards and conservative that want to have like basic functionality. But over time, this is a shift where the early adopters are going to be driving innovation and print industry, and the entire business is going to follow. I see. So you have to have somebody in the lead that have these requirements, and it's coming from the customers. Of course, it's a market change, and we as a software developer and other machine manufacturers can be innovative and supply the solutions necessary to do that shift.
And when you say that it's customer driven, I was just thinking that one of the things that is, of course, tremendously popular these days is OpenAI and ChatGPT, Sora, how Microsoft is integrating it into all their applications and that. Is that the type of, let's say, AI that customers are looking for also to integrate in an Omicron system? Because I mean, I always joke a little with it, because machine learning and AI has been around for decades, right? It's more because it's become so extremely popular and accessible right now that it has like a new level of interest. So the people that ask something for AI integrations, do you in where do you see the AI as a logic, or where are the customers asking for that logic integration?
Yeah, you said accessible, because that is the magic word. It's been around for a long time, but on like universities, computer departments, and now it's taken to the market, and now you can incorporate that in your ecosystem at your customer site. And where it comes in handy, it's of course we use it internally for development, but for the customer, it's like analyzing data, analyzing emails coming from customers to extract the relevant information. So I have an example that we're showcasing in our demos there. You can email our system, it analyzes the email, extract the data, the quantity and the name, and produce an order automatically. So I mean, in the future, it's going to be more and more of these text analysis and data analysis than having like standardized XML sheets or something, because it's going to be so intelligent, so you can analyze the data when it's more written by a person.
And is that like AI developed by you guys, or is that something where you, let's say, put your data into, let's say, somebody who has already developed it? Or I mean, because I mean, when we met in Ghent, I think we spoke about, or at least I spoke to also to David about it from Atomics, that you know, SAP here, the APIs, webhooks, all the integration parts, you can do that. Basically, allows you to take advantage of technologies developed by others. So it basically broadens your developer base to a lot of different things. But I also think that to some extent you might need to develop some things on your own in order to really take advantage of the knowledge you gain. So let's say the example you gave here, is that something that you have developed, or is it something that is, let's say, off the shelf somewhere?
No, I mean, we are focusing on kind of three parts. The first part is our core product. We have the best of breed MIS system. You can handle estimation, CRM, warehousing, finance, and everything in the system. That is the core functionality. But then you come to a customer and they want to integrate that with different solutions. And then we are very good at building these ecosystems and tech stacks where we take advantage of their where to print system, if you want to have that, or if it's going to be a Shopify solution, if it's going to be a logistics systems and so on. And then also, as you talked about Sora and you talked about ChatGPT, OpenAI solutions. So what I was talking about, then we use OpenAI for that. But we're very good at using the best of breed solutions on the market and put it all seamlessly integrated together. And then third, not to leave that, it's the change management, because as a MIS supplier, we have to also focus on organization. We can't just put a system into the factory and say that, oh, now everything's going to work fine. It's people.
Unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to help them to have standardized processes. You have to help them to do their processes in a similar way with a similar result, and streamline the efficiency of the organization too. So three parts, I would say. The core.
My previous guest, Stefan from Tessitura, they basically work on, let's say, components that can gather data from legacy presses, modern presses, digital presses, binding equipment, all those things, to basically get better data. Is that something that you also see a demand for when you, because an MIS system needs to be relatively accurate when it comes to the let's say the data that is used for calculations, otherwise you will never be able to do your business 100% correct. So do you see some kind of interest also in the market for having better and more accurate data from many different devices?
Of course, we get data from various pre-press systems, various workflow systems. Like this example you give now too is also a way to get data from different IoTs and machines and so on. All the necessary integration points we need to gather data is very important, because we have to push that data into the MIS, because the MIS should have the overall understanding of the entire processes. And then the BI, the business intelligence layer on top of that, because then you can in dashboards analyze things like sales performance, machine efficiency. We also focus on carbon footprint analysis. So that's also focus for the sustainability. So we have to have the entire big data coming from different solutions and different machines and analyze that in our MIS.
A question that just came to mind. I don't hope you mind, but when you say, for example, environmental data, I was just wondering because one of the things, as you know, Intergraph and Gracom in Denmark, they have developed these climate calc tool that are being used around Europe right now. And I have not seen an update on it for some years, so it might have changed. But when I looked at it, maybe 3-4 years ago, during the pandemic anyway, one of the concerns I had with almost all the calculation systems I've seen is that they rely on manually entered data, which is a significant error source, right? So when you have like an online MIS system, can you, or would it be possible easily to connect? Let's say that you have a utility supplier that enable direct reading of actual consumption and whether this is green energy or black energy. I mean, is that the level of integration you can do, or?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you talk about substrates, then you're getting information from, of course, the suppliers of the substrates. They have to tell us that, but sometimes they can give us information about article groups, so they can have like average data on a group of materials, for example. So you don't have to go into every article number and look at that, because that's going to be very time consuming. So some assumptions we can do.
Okay, so that is, so with everything there is also sometimes you need to stay with assumption. I was more thinking that, you know, the world gets more and more online, so it might be that you have like a dynamic fetch into Vattenfall or whatever whatever the energy companies are called in your region, and basically get accurate up to the minute data both on pricing and carbon emissions and all those kind of things. But that is a little bit too early to be there, basically.
No, that is totally possible in our tech stack too, if we got that connectivity to those kind of sources. Then it would be a problem. Nobody has access to that at this moment, but the future, when the migration to the cloud is going further, then you're going to get all the data through those kind of integrations too. So it will be possible more and more in the future.
Drupa, you cannot tell where you will be right now because it's a unannounced relationship, of course. But you will be at Drupa, and what is your expectations? I mean, are you selling? Because I mean, you started as a Swedish company, and we have been talking many times also about, you know, some kind of internationalization for Omicai. And I meet you in Belgium, I meet you now in Germany, I meet you different places. So, what is the plan still to become like a more like European-based player in the MIS system, or is it still focused mainly on Scandinavia, or how is that?
I don't know. It's definitely on internationalization for us. We are pushing hard in Benelux and Germany, UK, France, all these regions. So our focus is still to be the best of breed MIS system for printing and packaging. And we cannot do that without having these kind of partnerships, because it is a complete platform solution the customer needs. So we have to have partners in that.
Plus, at some point, you also need to be integrated to some kind of financial system that handles local taxation, VAT regulations and rules, and all those kind of things. So, of course, you need somebody in every country that know that side of it too, right? So that makes at least sense to me. Matthias, I think that you are also a member of our Drupa, PreDrupa 24 group on LinkedIn, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So when you have the announcement of where to meet you, please make a message, because I think it's important to use the group also for like giving that kind of information. And I would be honored to see that you use it, because I think that your software is super nice, and it would be great for other people to get to know as well. So take that opportunity, my friend.
I will do that, and thanks for the advice. And it will be announced, and it's probably going to be a couple of places we're going to be. limited resources, so we have to be split between the different situations. But I'm going to be there the entire period from start to finish, and colleagues too. And we're going to be both walking around and talking to different friends, and also participating in these partnerships.
And I will tell the audience that Matthias is almost 2 meter high. So when you meet him in the beginning of the show, he will be 2 meter high, and during the 7th, he will be around 180, I guess, right?
Yeah, after
I
10
don't
or
know.
14 days walking around, your legs start to hurt, and you know how it is. So
I know how it is, definitely.
yeah,
Well, Matthias, it was great to have you here on our first PreDrupa, so thank you very much. And in just a short moment, we should have Jean Lloyd from South Africa or the UK. I don't know where she is right now, but she will be in a moment, she said. So thank you, everybody, and stay tuned for the last presenter of today.